Yes, what is up, everybody? Welcome to Ginger Runner Live, episode number, oh my gosh, 200.
200.
I am so excited to announce that we have reached 200 episodes of Ginger Runner Live. A big celebration tonight, not only because we've reached 200 episodes, but we have an incredible guest. Ann Trason, legendary ultra runner, will be joining us on the show tonight. It's going to be awesome to have her on. We're going to talk to her all about her history in the sport, what she's been up to for the last couple of years, what she's about to do. Pretty awesome conversation, I have no doubt. And this is going to be a lot of fun. And we are doing things a little bit different tonight, too. We don't have her via video, but we do have her on the phone. And it's just going to save a lot of trouble without having to deal with Skype tonight at all. So it's going to be really cool to just talk to her on the phone, casual conversation. So welcome, everyone, to Ginger Runner Live, episode number 200. 200 episodes. Very, very excited.
I feel like I can't say we're getting up there because we're up there now.
We're at the top. There's no more after 200. That's not true, but pretty awesome to reach this number. This is 4 years, more than 4 years in the making, so it's pretty cool. So welcome everyone to the show. Sit back, relax, grab your beverage of choice. Ginger Runner Live begins now.
Ginger Runner.
Yes, what is up, everyone? Ginger Runner Live, episode number 200. We've had 199 episodes before this one. I did math real quick. I'm very good at this.
That's really good math.
Very good math. I just want to get right into the show because our guest tonight, it's an honor to have her on, and I don't want to waste any of her time or yours. So we're going to bring Ann Trason onto the show here in just a couple of seconds. Before we do, I have to thank a couple of individuals who've been supporting us on Patreon now for a number of months, if not years. They have allowed this show to continue to happen week after week. So big shout outs to Chris Lee over in Hong Kong, who's running the Trailblazer Network over there. Really cool brick and mortar shop in Hong Kong, and he's showcasing the local trails there. If you find yourself in Hong Kong at any point, reach out to Chris, reach out to the Trailblazer community. They're awesome, and he's doing some really amazing things for the community there. Big shout out to Rick Bjarnason of CheekyMonkeyMedia.ca. He and his team of amazing designers and web creators are completely redoing the Ginger Runner website, and they did the Ginger Miss website. They are amazing people, and Rick himself is an ultra runner currently training for the Sinister 7 as well as Fat Dog 120, which is just a brutal race up in Canada. So we're going to talk to him in the coming weeks and months about how his training is going. And finally, Mr. Brian Sands, who's been a long time top tier Patreon supporter, helping to make this show happen. We got a chance to run with him all weekend at the Orcas Island Trail Camp. He ran his first marathon in October, crushed it. And he's currently training for his first ultra marathon this year, and it's pretty cool to see him come so far. On Thursday, he ran his first trail run at the Orcas Island Trail Camp, and it was at night, and it was on technical trails, and he crushed it. And that same weekend, on Saturday, he ran his first, technically, trail half marathon, 13.2 miles up and around Mount Constitution on Orcas Island with 8 inches of snow, ice, and he crushed it. It's really cool to see someone brand new to trail running just do so well and love it. And so big shout out to those 3 individuals for helping make this show happen. Yes. And of course, we're joined by you.
Hi guys, I'm Kim Tashima Newberry, and as always, I will be in the chat room pulling comments. A lot of you guys are in there already wishing us happy 200.
Yes.
Which is awesome. I see a lot of our regular viewers in there, as well as a lot of new or first time viewers perhaps. So if you guys don't know how the show works, we do take live comments and questions throughout the hour.
And I just want to also mention that Where Dreams Go to Die, my first feature-length film that I've ever made, is available today. So today's been crazy trying to get this thing uploaded and get it ready. You can go to wheredreamsgotodie.com and grab that movie. It's all about Gary Robbins and his 2 attempts at the Barkley Marathons. It's a heartbreaking story, but also vivid and emotional, and I hope it inspires you to find your Barkley and get out there and try to conquer it. So big shout out to Gary, Linda, and everyone who's already grabbed the movie. If you haven't, again, just go to the website and snag it. Okay, no more time wasting. Let's bring her on. She is gracious with her time tonight, allowing us to bring her onto the show. She's a legend in ultra running. She's won Western States 14 times, has countless records. Listen, if you don't know who she is, Google her, research. spend a couple hours just gawking because her results speak far beyond anything I could do as an introduction. Without further ado, the one and only Ann Trason. Yay!
Yay!
How are you, Ann?
Well, hey, hi, welcome.
That's my line. Welcome you to the show.
200. It's like the new Ultra, the 200. Isn't that cool? I mean, it's like another animal.
It really is. Has that been ever any?
Ultras are so amazing that we just keep reinventing ourselves. It's like the 200's the new 100, or the 100's the new 100. I don't know, but you know what I'm saying? Yeah.
For sure.
No, seriously, it's really amazing. You think you've accomplished something, and then they make something even crazier, like the 888, and like, whoa, really? Interesting.
And no matter how long I've been in the sport, I feel like every year there is something new, or you'll find out about some new event that you're like, how is that even possible? Have you ever toyed with the idea of doing a 200?
Oh, the problem right now is I have rheumatoid arthritis. And I couldn't make the cutoffs. I'd like to. I mean, if I could, I would. But I just can't run anymore. Which is, but I had a lot of good years, so I'm not, doing the pity party. Pity parties are awful. So I could go out. I might do that. Oh, you've inspired me. I might do a 200 on my own. Why do you need like a stopwatch or stopwatches? No, that's an old school. But yeah, I could do that if I really wanted to.
For sure. Yeah, I like that the sport's evolving.
6-day.
Yeah, right?
Right. Yeah. So exactly.
I'm really curious. Ann and I have talked a little bit before the show and via email and stuff like that. Some of you have submitted questions for Ann already, and I want to get through some of those tonight. If you are watching live, Kim.
Oh, I was just going to say there's a couple of requests just to turn up Ann's volume a hair.
Okay.
Oh, I don't know if I can.
Ethan can do it, I think.
What I can do is turn our volume down and turn Ann's up, which is exactly what I'll do.
Is this better?
It is a little better.
Oh, well, I got this new headset thing because my dog tried to figure out how it worked. Seriously, no, it wasn't. Yeah, it's funny, except it's like a $300 one. Yeah.
Dogs, for some reason, have been causing all sorts of chaos in our households over the last couple of weeks. And you were just saying that your dog got skunked today.
Oh, bad.
That's heartbreaking.
And he kept oh, well, yeah, but so this person I haven't seen for a while, and then I was saying it snowed, so we should go snowshoeing, and it's his car. It wasn't my car.
Oh yeah.
No, it was and he has a nicer car, and then and she kept following the skunk, so it wasn't. I mean, that skunk could not have had any more, and I'm a little worried because it's in the daylight, and we're both thinking the same thing, like rabies die.
Right.
Like it was really scary. I mean, it's all snow. Oh, poor thing. Oh, it was awful.
Oh.
Yeah, it was pretty awful, and we tried the dawn washing thing 3 times.
Didn't work?
Well, it's residual.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's a process.
And then I had, it's a process. And I had this orange spray thing, and I just spraying it through his car. And I have to do this podcast. I have to go. I have to just spray your car. And he's he's not a runner. Yeah. He's just this hiking buddy, a snowshoe buddy. He's like, okay.
Part of me is I bet you did it on purpose. You bet you're you take care of the dog. I gotta go do this podcast. See you later.
Oh no, we did it together. It was really, this guy's so nice because I didn't want to ask him. I was he's like, I can help you. And I'm like, at this point, I usually decline help at this point because it's gross. And I just said, that would be very nice, John. You can do that. Please help me.
The chat room is saying tomato sauce.
Oh, tomato sauce. Yeah, if I had time and I wasn't doing this, I would have gotten a lot of tomato sauce.
We appreciate you taking the time to do
I would
this.
have. I didn't have. It's because she got, we're too close. I thought we'd have an extra hour. I could have gotten tomato sauce if she hadn't gotten skunk, but then I wouldn't need to go to the store, right? Yeah, right. That's what I've heard too. I've never had a dog. It's pretty funny. I'm a dinosaur right now. I've never had a dog skunked before.
We have pretty good luck right now, but we've had neighbors that have gone down that path, and it is no bueno.
It like diesel. It's bad.
Pretty bad.
Yeah.
So I did go into a store. I won't go into the details. And the guy's like, because I want to get something for my friend to thank him for driving me back. And he like does this like sniffing stuff, and I'm like, "Oh, do I smell like a skunk?" And he says, "Yes." I was trying to buy my friend a bottle of wine that he likes, and it was so bad.
I know the feeling. We've had neighbors that have had dogs that have been skunked, and you can smell it through the walls. So it's intense.
It was bad. Anyway, it's just another adventure.
Another adventure. That's perfect. That's exactly right. So let's kind of start talking a little bit about. This is a question that came up from multiple sources, and I'm really curious about it as well. Just how the sport has changed, how it's different from when it was when you were running in the 80s and 90s. Do you notice big changes?
Yeah, we're not running with syrup bottles. Are you kidding? Everyone's like, it's, they have the old timers that want it like the way it was. I'm like, are you kidding?
Yeah.
There was no goo. Seriously.
Right.
Do you know how bad it was? And the first time I did an ultra, they had something like gluten egg, and I tasted it, and I said, it tastes like sweat, and they said, that's what it is. And I like spit it out. I was like, okay. There was no information. There was like nothing.
Right.
It was like going into the dark hole of challenge. It was like, I don't have review mirrors. It's all got to be good.
Right.
And it's all good. So there's better equipment.
Mm-hmm.
They're better packs. Ultimate Instruction's doing a great job. All these other ones are doing great jobs. I would have loved to have had, one of those hydration pack things. And I'm wearing this thing around my stomach, and I'm puking because my stomach, for some reason, I don't like belts. I don't like tight clothes. I don't like anything tight.
Sure.
And you're running with a fanny pack, and a lot of things have, it's just progress. It's like, do we really don't want internet? Some people say that. I'm like, really? There's just progress. Life's changing rapidly.
Right.
It's logarithmic, and if you don't want to embrace it, go live in a cave.
For sure. Even when I started in 2012 ultra running before that, but 2012 was like the first introduction to ultra running, and I remember even then.
Well, why'd you get into ultra in 2012? That's not that long ago.
It's not. So what is that? 6? Yeah, 6 years is when I ran my first ultra.
Well, so what got you into ultras?
People like you, like reading. There were books, and you read the books about the people who've been running.
You don't. Okay. Oh, no. You don't believe everything you read.
Honestly, when you read stories that people would run for 24 hours, what you begin to do is you begin to question everything. Like, you begin to go, well, I've run for 4. How is it possible to run 20 more? Like, that's impossible.
But that's where you ask, how's it changed? It hasn't really changed, because I saw on the schedule this magazine, right? And I'm like bored, and I'm trying to figure out what's going on in my life. I'm trying to it says, and I like this person, Sally Edwards, and I see 50 miles, and I'm like, how's that possible? It's the same thing. I said, oh no, I really called the race director. I said, is it a typo? I asked him, but the time was the same as a half marathon that I had just done, not a half marathon, half Ironman.
Right.
And I really admire, and it was about, I was like, people from Sacramento. I'd never been to Auburn. Now I live here, but it's always fun when people say, when did you come here? I said, I ran here in 1985. You're like, well, no, I just came here 2.5 years ago. Moved here, but I've been coming ever since. But notice if people are always like, whoa, and they're like checkout aisle in Auburn or something. They're like, when did you come here? I said, I ran here in 1985. Anyway, so no, it's the same thing. I saw 50 miles, and I really called them, and I said, people really run that far? I mean, that's far. I don't even like to drive 50 miles.
Right.
Right? And they said, oh, yeah, it's called American River 50. And I was like, well, it's about 6-8 weeks away. I wonder if I can do it. You know, it's a challenge. There's something that's in all of us that do ultras. It's different.
Yeah.
And they're not that percentage-wise, you know, whatever, you know, DSR, whatever. We're like attracted to this challenge. And it's like it's our little community. And it's small compared to the real world.
Right. Oh,
I
for
mean,
sure.
it's really cool. Oh, way too cool was this weekend. No, it's just like, I mean, probably if you were in quilting, I said that, and we have a passion. And when you get the passion and you get the bug, it's intense.
Yeah.
I don't know about you, but when I got the passion, it was like, whoa, it changed my life.
It's changed our lives. Like, we're sitting here doing a podcast about something that when I started was like an accident almost. And now I eat, breathe, and live this stuff. There's nothing more in my life than running. Like, it's everything.
Well, I'll have to say I have more in my life than that, but no, I get it.
You should give it a try, Anne. You should try just 100% running.
Well, I used to be like that when I was more professional, but now, you know, I'm a little. When you get old, like me and a dinosaur, you have to be more rounded.
I understand. Absolutely. 100%.
I'm not trying to insult, but it's like you've been there, done that. I can't do it anymore, but I can still be a participant.
Is there anything that ever scared you early on? Like, were the distances scary, or pushing your body to the extreme scary? Was there anything like that you ever dealt with?
There were things I failed at a lot, which is really hysterical. It's like kind of ironical. I thought these timed events were stupid because they weren't going anywhere, but there weren't a lot going on, and I really wanted to be an ultra runner. I wanted to say I was an ultra runner, even though you didn't tell your neighbors, and when you went for interviews, you wouldn't say anything. But I thought that I needed to do a 24-hour timed event to be an ultra runner. And this is, I was telling someone, this is probably not a good thing to say, but when I got married, it was a joke. We had a prenuptial indirectly. We didn't have like an attorney or anything, but I would never do anything more than a 24-hour.
That was it. That was the max.
That was max. And I stuck to it. Now that I'm not married, watch out.
24 is no longer a restriction.
No. And now I go to jackpot and I get a buckle. Oh, yeah, it was a restriction.
That's crazy.
And no, it wasn't crazy. I understood it.
Just that the hours were a thing. Like,
no, it was in your brain goes a weird place. Yeah. And no, I know I shouldn't be joking about it, but it's true. Yeah. So I thought I needed to do a timed event. And Dick Collins got me. I only finished 1:20. I mean, what's finished? This is why I like timed events right now. There are no DNFs. Have you ever thought about that?
Say that last part again.
If you do a timed event and you start, you can't DNF.
I do know this because I have done a timed event. Both Kim and I have done them, and that was one of the draws.
Isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like you just
and it's
go.
Super social.
It really is.
You just go and you can see everything unfolding depending on how long the course is. But it's like you just have to put yourself in a different mindset. And once you have, it's not that different. That's just I know there are all these elites, whatever that is, hammerheads. They're going to be like, whatever, but no, that's what's so fun for me right now. You can these things. Once you go a foot, you're like in it.
You're in it. You're committed.
You're committed.
Yeah, we did a 12-hour event, and when I went into it, I was thinking, I don't know what to expect. This is the first of this.
How far did you go?
12 hours.
But how many miles, you dork?
It's a trail one, so I think each loop had what, 500
Oh.
feet.
Oh, now you have excuses.
Oh no,
Yeah, you're starting with the excuses. here.
237 miles. And does that impress you?
In 12 hours?
Okay, it was a lie. It was 48.9 miles. It was third place.
Oh, well, I podiumed recently.
Nice.
Whatever a podium is. That's what they told me. They're like, you podiumed. I'm like, it's a pile of rocks. I'm like, really?
Like, my brain is like, what do you tell Ann Trason when she asks how I did? Do I lie and say I won, which is not true?
Well, but you know what? That's what's so. Why do you have to win to feel good about yourself?
Oh, I just want to feel good about Ann liking me. That's it. I'm fighting for Ann's approval.
We already have it.
Nice. In that case,
You made me laugh. You know, laughter is the joy of life.
that's it. I agree, 100%. But 48.5 miles. I am very happy with that. It was so much fun.
You did 48 miles in 12 hours?
Yeah, it was. Yeah.
Oh, okay. I think I got I did one, New Year's, 35. I didn't think I'd get 50K, but it was a joke. My friend Francesca Carmichael from Seattle started a lot of this. So she's coming to my house, and her son was coming here, and we were going to go to one day in San Francisco.
Mm-hmm.
And he's 19. He's going to be 20 the next day at midnight. And she wants him to be an ultra runner before he turns 20.
Nice.
So we kind of manipulated system. He's a soccer player. So he was in on it. We wouldn't like torture the guy, you know. And so he went down there, and I drove him. They came here. We had a party and blah, blah, blah. And then we go down there. And the goal was to get Cameron to 50K by midnight.
Wow. How much time
And
did
he
you have?
did it. It was a 12-hour.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was 12 hours. Whatever. He did it. But then I started this thing, and I'm like, I mean, he was running most of it till about mile 22.
Mm-hmm.
So he had to do it by midnight. Anyway, I just got into it. It was really fun. And I was like, this is kind of fun. I could do this. I couldn't used to, but now I can. And it's fun. So I beat him. If you look at distance, I didn't mean to. I just was really having fun. So I just walked for 12 hours.
That's awesome. What'd you end up getting?
They sent me like a medal thing. I think 35, maybe 31. No, I did more than 50K. That's right. 35 miles, maybe 34. I don't know.
That's amazing.
Oh,
I was half expecting
amazing.
you to say. I was half expecting you to say 49 miles just to edge me out.
Oh, that's so funny. So I go and do this. That got me. I was going to do another 12-hour because they're putting one on here, and the track here is sacred in Auburn.
Absolutely.
And I've only been around that track 14 times, and they have a event around the track. And one of my former clients asked me to do it, single track. The guy's Apollo, he's super cool. So I'm like, well, maybe I'll do that, blah, blah, blah. And the funniest thing was there was a kid there. He's 19, Tommy. He's adorable. He thought he'd do 150 miles.
Wow.
Whoa. Yeah, that was, grandeur,
Yeah.
You start with grandeur, right? So I have a friend. The kid got to I don't know, in his 50s, and then his feet didn't look like feet.
Oh, boy.
Oh, he was done. There's a big fork in his poor little back. And people were trying to motivate him and get him to put on, they were bringing him different shoes. And he walked one lap with me in his socks. And they're like, and I didn't know this till later. This guy said to him, he said, see Ann there? He's like, yeah, she's just walking. He's like, see the clock? She's not going to stop. She's going to kick your ass.
Mm-hmm.
And he said, I'm 17 miles ahead of her. He was 17 miles ahead of that. Well, that's all he said. And he said, I beat him, but he beat me by 1.5 miles.
Oh.
He did. He was out there busting his ass to get this old woman. It was hysterical. It was the best time.
That,
It was really a good time.
I was going to say, it's
like
probably a good time for
that's
both of you.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
that's what ultrarunning is all about. I mean, who cares? It
Mhm.
was hysterical. And I didn't even know it was going on. I'm just like, I'm kind of mother hen. I was like, boy, he put on his socks at one point. And John Vonhoff, who's done Fix Your Feet and stuff, he's there. He's a good friend of mine. And poor little dude, he's like out there in his socks. I think I fixed it out. He's walking. I was like, Tommy, I think you just didn't have big enough shoes. They swell. Well, people are getting more and more shoes. I said, good. And he ran some better. They went. People were getting you bigger shoes. It was hysterical.
It sounds amazing.
It was totally amazing. It was like mind-blowing.
Do you remember the kid's name?
Tommy. I don't know his last name. He's just Tommy.
He's
promise
19. You he remembers yours.
He just knew me as Anne, the old lady. I mean, he was like didn't want. I mean, I'll be like 58 this year. He's like, oh no, 58-year-old. He even said that. I don't know. That's what someone told me. No 58-year-old's gonna beat me.
Is that fuel for your fire?
I didn't care. I just couldn't believe I kept walking. I was doing it for my dad, to be quite honest. My dad had a stroke, and it's hard for me. I have to say, I don't deal with breakups or death very well, or even thinking about it. And I decided I was just going to walk on this track and stir up vibes for my father. And it's so funny. So I do it, and I was flattened. I didn't take care of myself. I thought if you walked, you could do it on 2 pieces of pizza and Mountain Dew. And everyone who walked with me knows my favorite drink, which is 4-shot non-fat latte. Mm-hmm. So I had a lot of caffeine and not a lot of calories, and I was done. It was the worst. I didn't feel that bad since '87 in Leadville. No, I was really embarrassed. I thought, I'm not kidding. And I call my dad. I'm like lying in my van going, I don't know. I call him, and I said, Dad, I walked 70 miles in your honor. And he said, you did what? Oh. I said, really, seriously, around the track. For positive vibes. He's still in the hospital, and the nurses are patching him in. And my dad's hysterical. Of course, everyone thinks their dad's perfect, but he's not perfect. He says, when are the vibes coming? Because I want to get the hell out of here. Oh. He said that. Oh. I said, they're coming.
Have they not knocked on the door yet? They got to be there
he's
soon.
He got out of the hospital. He's home.
Nice.
Yeah, but it was like one of those moments, like it was worth it. And that's why I was doing it, because I just thought, well, I can't be there all the time and help him. And I tried, but, it's different. He has his life and, his companion and everything, and it's different. And I was like, well, what can I do for me to help him to whatever? And that's what I decided for some crazy idea. And 70 miles on a 400-meter track. Oh, in third lane, because I know etiquette.
Yeah.
No, seriously, I got a Facebook message. I don't know who it was because I'm working. Because I was like coaching and working. Oh, it's during Hurt. It was the weirdest experience. You know Hurt?
Oh yeah, very much so.
So Ken Michaels, who was on here, he was doing it, and so I started. And they're talking about some missile thing, and I take out my phone. I'm like, what are they talking about? A missile. That's interesting. I just put my phone back in my pocket, and about an hour later, I take it out, and it's Karen. I was like, what? And she sends me like the text she got, and I'm like, oh, this is bad. And I'm showing it to the other people, like Ed. No one's like, they're really serious. I'm like, did you hear about the missile crisis in Hawaii?
Yeah.
And everyone's just like going, no. Yeah, it was. Whoa, why do you care? And I said, because this could be bad.
Right, like, because this is a real thing, maybe?
If this is real, maybe we should, be considering this. Why aren't we?
Right.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it was, it was one of those, psychedelic moments. It was and I wasn't on psychedelics. It was just
it had to have been surreal. And you
It
knew
was
people
very
there.
surreal.
Yeah.
Oh, and I'm asking people, and they're like, yeah, well, they figured it out. And then they're holding people to aid stations. And then I'm trying to, tell Karen, well, what are you going to do? Is he going to freak out? She's like, well, he didn't get held. Now they extended the cutoffs. And I'm like, win-win. I
Yep.
mean, yeah,
Look at the
that was
positives.
bizarre. You have to know, you know what? If you want to do an ultra, you got to only look at the positives.
Yeah.
That's my thing.
I mean, I feel like that's the simplest, best advice that we can give on the show, and from Ann Trason alone, I mean, that's worth it.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, I've been around the block.
I think you know what you're talking about.
Well, the first 2 times I did states, I didn't finish, and I was thinking about the negatives and all, whatever, puking and thinking I was going to die. But then you just get into don't think about those things, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Actually, I remember we have mutual friends, and we've had guests on the show and stuff who have mentioned that at states where they didn't finish, and then they had heard from you, and you reached out and said, "Listen, I didn't finish the first 2 times I ran it," and then look, like, just because you didn't finish something doesn't mean that it's over.
No, I mean, it's funny when I didn't. I love the course. I mean, I fell in love with the trail.
Yeah.
It's really weird, but yeah, no. And then I thought the trail hated me, and I was putting, the real reason I was putting way too much pressure on myself. I was, because I wanted to have the trail be proud of me. I know that seems really weird. So the 3rd year, I wasn't supposed to run, but Norm let me in. It's a USATF thing, Bob. I was supposed to do this 100K thing, and then it got canceled. Well, they said I'd be banned for life if I did it, and it's only 2 weeks before it. And I know all these people would hate this, but that was before there was a lottery, and Norm said, if you ever want in. So I literally signed up for Western States the first year a week before the race.
Wow.
And get this, it was I never trained on the course at all that year. No,
yeah, you didn't live in Auburn, yeah.
Oh God, I didn't live in Auburn. And I'm training on the roads. I'm going to do 100K loop-de-loop thing, pavement, because before that I'd done the Santander thing and pissed off USATF and won that. And then they're like, I got invited to this other thing, but then there's South Africans there if you can follow that. And they said, well, we could go after other people, but if you do it, we're going to sanction you for 2 years and you can't run. And it was bad because I had 2 airplane tickets. I don't know if it was first class, business class, and a car, and it was super cool. I mean, I was like, this is really cool. Yeah. And I have to turn it down because I talked to my partner at the time, and I said, they're threatening 2 years suspension if I run in this race because someone's gone to South Africa, is going to be in the race. And I said, why aren't you going after Klecker and all these people? They said, because you'll have a better name. And I'm like, what are you talking about? So I just called Norm Klein and I said, I don't know what's going on. Something's bad. Can I run Western States? He says, just show up in a few days, sign the waiver, and you can do it. And then I went out and I wanted to train on the course. It's a week before, Saturday before the course, and I do a run from Michigan Bluff to Last Chance back. It's like 24. It's really hard, 24. Yeah. And Brotherton's coming down. He's run from Squaw. So I think what I did was normal. He's doing a 62-mile run.
Training run? Is he also running it?
He won. You don't know who Mark Brotherton is?
Oh, I didn't hear the last name.
Yeah, Mark Brotherton won it that year. It was crazy. I was like, yeah, he was doing 62. The week before, we used to do, Pell and all these people used to run mega miles. That's one of the reasons I didn't finish, because there's no, we've talked about no information, right? There's no information.
Right.
So then this Chuck Jones guys get on the cover of Outside, I call it Out There magazine, even though at one point it was very flattering because they don't have a lot of women on the cover and I'm not that attractive, so it was kind of weird that they put me. But anyway, he's on it and I'm reading 180-mile weeks. This dude's doing, and there's nothing. So I think if you do 180 miles a week, you can do Western States. Yeah. Well, my body can't take 180 miles a week. And that was the problem. I was trying to do 180 miles a week. That was my first year. That was my big mistake. Yeah. I was broken.
I've broken 100
Never. I've gotten to 97.3.
Oh,
I can't.
0.3.
0.3. The 0.3 is important, Ann, because that was me running around a parking lot. I can't imagine 180 miles a week.
No.
180.
You're right.
8. Yeah, that's what this guy did.
Do you remember Jim O'Brien?
Oh, yeah. Oh, he's still around.
And AC 100, that record still stands. And I remember researching that guy and just the mileage that he would put in.
Oh,
It's insane.
Oh.
I don't
But
get it.
that was the old timers. They did a lot of mileage, and they were and you know what? People don't have respect for these people, and these guys are good. He's still alive, right? Have you had him on your show?
Not yet.
You
actually,
should.
I don't know if he is. He might be.
He's still alive. Oh, yeah, he's still alive.
He has to be. I think he's quiet.
He's very quiet.
But I don't want to forget, we do have a live audience, Anne, and they are loving you. They are pulling words of wisdom.
You're just no way.
There's just countless questions of like the history and stuff like that. So just briefly, Kim's going to kind of give some shout outs to some of our live viewers because everyone is just absolutely loving you, Anne. What's going on, Kim?
Yeah, we actually have a few very special guests in our chat room tonight as well. We have Amelia Boone in the chat room. We have Camille Heron in the chat room.
Nice.
Jamil is in the chat room, as well as many of our regular viewers.
Shout out to all of them.
Yeah.
Amelia Boone, a big, talented ultra runner right now. Sean O'Brien, 100K, just rocked that under her belt. Camille Heron has some incredible records and stuff like that. And as someone who's been a pioneer in the sport, do you have any advice for women who are maybe new to the sport or looking to win races or are inspired by you? Do you have words of encouragement or wisdom for some of the newcomers to the sport?
Find something you love to do. I think what we all share is a passion. I mean, if you find a passion in life, I mean, I'm serious because my dad, it's been a lot of what I've been going through. If you can find a passion and you have a passion for it, you have a gift. I mean, that's a gift that's been given to you. It's not a gift you're giving to the world. I was given a gift. I found something I really loved. I didn't care how well I did or what I did. I just loved what I did, and I fell in love with the course. I fell in love with the trail. So much how I bought a house at mile 99.2.
Yeah.
And I feel really happy because a lot of things happen in life, a lot of ups and downs and just stuff, it just happens. If you live long enough, not everything's going to be rosy. Maybe it will be, but not in my life. And I'm glad I found it. It gave me like something good. And I just say to people, you don't have to say if you're a man. The whole thing, this man and woman thing, it's coming up a little bit again. I mean, why would you want to compare yourself to a man if you're a girl? Boy, don't you want to just be the best you can be? I just wanted to be the best Anne could be. Or just enjoy it, like enjoy what I was doing. I'd always want to just challenge Anne. I never challenged anyone else. I don't know if you can get that. But it was just about challenging myself, and I'm still doing that. It's like if I can be a better person, then it's worth living. And every day I try and be a better person. It's as simple as that. I get up, try and be a better person.
I love that.
Yeah.
And Amelia also has a question, which I think is a great general question just about the sport. She asked, as a community, is there anything that we can do to make sure that this sport continues to head in a positive direction, especially with so many new folks coming into the sport?
Volunteering. Oh, this is a great one. I love this. Volunteer.
Love it.
No, because seriously, if I take you as a client, the requirement is you do 8 hours of volunteer hours, and I match it hour by hour.
You match it?
Which is oh yeah. I get
that's
signed.
awesome.
No. Oh, well, I haven't gotten my consent. It has just happened, when you walk and your brain goes. So I was helping at Way Too Cool. It was last Friday, and texted Julie or to the race, and she's like, whatever, here's the volunteer. I said, well, will you sign my volunteer hours? Because I'm taking it seriously, but I haven't my printer died. So I don't have, so I go out there and I work like 3 or 4 hours and we're hanging all this stuff. And, they come up to me and they go, where's your form? And I'm like, what are you talking about?
Yeah.
And they're like, well, the volunteer form. Yeah. I said, well, and I'm explaining it to them. And they said, fine, when you get it together, just send it to us and we'll email it back. And I said, cool, that's great. No, I really think people don't remember Norm Klein. He was a race director here in Wasatch. If you don't have volunteers out there, you're not going to have an event.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of people, they don't know what it's like to put on an event. And that's why we're doing it, right? I mean, you can go out and just run, but if you're going to do events, volunteer. That's what you can do. You can give back. And that's a good way to give back. You can pace, right?
Mm-hmm.
But really volunteering and just, what was super, I put on this Fire Trails race for a while. I did it because I really Dick died and everything. Yeah, it was really, and I had these are the people that changed my life. This guy, Steve Holman, he calls me and he says, Ann, whatever you need, I'm your go-to guy. I had a couple people who did that. And you just get to know them. And they were. You'd be like, whoa, I need someone to do blah, 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 which is crazy. And they wouldn't question it. And that's what you need when you put on a race. You have to have go-to people. You have to just have the general people who are doing it. And I'd say go out, volunteer. That's what I do.
I couldn't agree more.
Mm-hmm.
I absolutely love that advice. We get a lot of newcomers to the sport that ask us, like, oh, what race should I run and do all this and do that? And, the best answer is, why don't you go to a race and why don't you crew or pace or volunteer? It's a great way to meet and see everything.
That's what I tell them. So, I take on clients and everything, and I'm always like, pace, I'm afraid 100 miles. I said, well, pace someone, go
Pace it.
Mm-hmm.
Pace it, go. And they're like, I don't know anyone. I said, pace or hitchhike.
Yeah.
That's what I did.
Yeah.
When I could run. I can't run anymore. But it's so fun.
My first 100-mile experience was crewing states. And that.
Where? What year?
2014? 15? It was Sally McRae.
Oh,
And
you crewed Sally?
Yeah, years back.
Oh, that was the year before. Oh, yeah. Oh, okay.
When she got 10th, when she worked her way up to 10th. And that was my first, of course I'd heard of 100-milers. That wasn't the thing. It was my first, witnessing of the event. And it terrified me and inspired me and changed me and wore me out.
That changed you.
It's amazing.
Wore you out, yeah. Oh,
it's so
really?
much.
I didn't know you were on her crew because I think I helped her the next year.
Yes.
Yeah.
I believe it was the next year. Yeah, it was the first year that she got the top 10, so she was able to go back the next year.
Yeah, no, we had a really good. Maury Boyd, and we had a really. It was really special.
It
was super
that
good.
event alone isn't. It's incredible.
Well, you're talking to someone who can't get enough of it, right? It's if you buy, you're all excited. People knew it so much. The realtor, this house comes for sale. I wasn't going to buy this house. I wasn't even looking at Auburn.
Right.
I was in a Hoka convention of all things, doing something for whatever, and I'm getting all these text messages, and I'm like, why is my phone exploding? And I have to say, they're talking about kangaroos and Hokas and blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, it was this thing. I was coaching middle school, and I was doing it, for whatever. And it's in SAC. And I'm like, oh, this looks pretty cool, but I don't know, expense. Whoa, no, really? And so it was a person who worked in Auburn Running Company. It was her husband's realtor. And I was like, and he just said, you really need to see this house. And I'm like, well, I guess I could. And then I just told my friend I'm sitting to it, and it was going on for another hour. I said, I have more important things to do. It just, some things happen in your life, and they just happen, right?
Yeah. Uh-huh.
And so I just drove here and I opened the gate. I don't even look in the house, and I shouldn't have bought it. There's a lot of reasons. I just, dude, honestly, I just said, I don't know how we're going to make this happen, but this is going to happen.
I love it. I love
I mean,
that.
Surya, I mean, I love,
You knew.
it took me a while. I knew, and sometimes in life you just know. And it wasn't easy because I could run when I moved here, and then I move here, and then I get dinged with this rheumatoid arthritis, and it was bad, and they didn't know what's happening. They died of cancer and all this stuff. And I finally found a place, and I love it here. I really do. And it's great.
And you're able to get out on the trails and enjoy them to some degree, yeah? Every
Oh,
day?
a lot.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Well, yeah, I mean, and then there's a gym. I found a great gym,
That's
and
good.
I don't know, it's a community. What I really love about Auburn is, do you know Auburn? I want them to change their logo. They probably won't like this. We're the endurance capital of the world.
Right.
And I was out there, cool, and I'm handing out stickers now and maps. That's what they do. And Jamil says to me, "You should be of the universe. We're not thinking big enough in Auburn." I
Yes.
just, oh yes. I was like, you get it. So
Jamil's
if
a
I
good
go
guy.
in front of, yeah, but if I go in front of this committee and say, you need to change your logo, because in Auburn, seriously, because a friend of Shannon Morrow, she's one of the first race directors of Western States. Now, people don't know that the women did a lot. And Fred of Wendell Roby, there was Drew Bonner. People don't know that. So there's a logo. They have this logo for the endurance capital of the world. And underneath it, and this is where the city council meets, it says every trail leads to Auburn.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, it's super cool. But I want it to say universe. But if I do that, you'll have to go in front of the city council, and I'll call it. I don't even want to. I'm trying to fit into to where I live.
Sure. Yeah, you don't want to be that person that everyone's like, oh, God, here comes Ann again with that universe
Yeah,
thing.
well, I'm getting there. So I am. I get that. So I'm getting the white bridge painted. It needs a little. Well, they've been replacing boards, and they're not even priming it. It's crazy. I love that white bridge. So it's a landmark. So
Yeah.
I did
Are you near that bridge?
Oh, God. Oh, of course.
Are you feet from it?
Not, feet. We're
Do
going to
you
do
own
feet.
the bridge, Ann?
I want to have my fence look like that bridge.
Yeah. It's a beautiful
No,
bridge.
it's about. So when I ran those times, my pacers, we couldn't talk about finishing till we hit that white bridge. No, they would be all like, "Oh, we're doing great," and I'm like,
Not
"We
until the
don't
bridge.
talk not till the bridge."
Yeah.
And every time they'd say, I said, "No. Yeah, I'm probably a quarter mile, maybe. There's one hill between me and that bridge. There's just one. I'm at the top of Roby.
Yeah. You are. What a great spot.
I
So
like
you're
it.
basically down in both directions, down to the school or down to the trail.
Oh, that's a nice way of looking at it. I like that.
Yeah. Every trail points to Auburn
Right.
in the universe.
Yeah,
Listen.
well, that would be good, but if I did that, oh no, I can't do that because that would be syndicate. I get it. I mean, but it's there are a lot of endurance runs. Putting it all aside,
Sure.
They put a lot into the community, and the community puts a lot back. And if you didn't have people that didn't put a lot into a place like this, you wouldn't have this. It's just incredible. It's special.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I wouldn't have moved here if I didn't think it's the heat here in the summer. Oh, bad. But I really love it here. Why not? It's my life. If I want to love Auburn, let me love Auburn.
We did the exact same thing recently. I lived in Los Angeles, and Kim and I, we needed to move where we loved, and it was a part of our decision was it wasn't Los Angeles. We now live in the Northwest, but it was one of those we need to be
Where in the Northwest?
We're right now Seattle, but we're hoping to be
okay.
near the Cascade Crest course. That's our end goal.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if you.
Well, my Cougar's coming up to Seven Hills.
The Cougars?
Well, I have 14 of them.
I'm aware that you have a number of them.
Yeah, 14. So 3 of them have been at different stores,
Mm-hmm.
and they're going on road trips. I moved 2 of them, and the one in Healdsburg's going up to Seven Hills in Seattle in May.
That's
Oh,
cool.
we'll have
I
to
didn't
go
know
visit
that.
it.
We'll go
No,
visit
yeah.
Phil.
Yeah.
Phil and his crew. Nice.
Well, my friend Francesca, I don't know if you know Francesca Carmichael.
Mm-hmm. Carmichael.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, she's super cool. I like her a lot. It was her son that did the 50K, but yeah, she said that. But they can move around. I mean, it's not an ego thing. People, Lindsay, if it inspires one girl to go out in the trail and see what the best she can do, these cougars. I'm sorry, I don't care about awards, whatever, but these things are a piece of. I like art.
Yeah.
These are art,
They're
and each
beautiful.
one's different. I think they're. Oh, yeah. Oh, my guest room. 8 of them on a shelf. I won't sleep there because there are 16 eyes looking down at you. It's a cougar room.
16
That's so
cougar
fun.
eyes. Yeah.
16 cougar eyes.
I
I had to reinforce the shelf so I could.
I was going to say that's got to be heavy. That's
it's
another
super
reason not
heavy.
to sleep under them.
Oh, well, no, it's just a little shelf and the bed's
Okay.
over. But there was another shelf. It was really high up and had books up there. And I'm like, what if we lower it? And this contractor dude was doing some other work. And I'm like, well, we could lower it. I could put my cougar. He's like, and he's looking at the realtor who sold me the house. He's like, is she for real? He did say that. I'll remember it. And he said, I think, yeah. So they lowered it. I just love it. It's like, the Lincoln bedroom. And it has it has its own bathroom, and people come here and train. Why would I not want to share my house with people?
That's amazing. I mean, like you said, community. It's
that's what we have. And, everyone says it's grown and blah, blah, blah. But I don't think when you push yourself to the limits that we're pushing ourselves to, there's something that, it's like going out. You spend how many hours with your training partner?
right.
You share things there. You get to a point where it's gone beyond your work, your whatever. And then you just get out there. And those are the things that are special to me. And I think that's why I don't know. I mean, if I was a knitter or a quilter, maybe you do that. But I don't do those. But I really do think that there's something when you just like really pushing yourself mentally and physically. It's not just physical. It's mentally, and you have to have a passion to do it. And you put that in and you stir it up in a pot.
Yeah.
Something special. I mean, I don't want to say we're special, but that's my passion. It's my passion.
We both agree, and I think the live viewers in the community who listens to this and watches this at some point will all nod their heads in agreement. This last weekend, we got a chance to hang with a number of the trail running community on an island off the coast of Washington State, very remote.
The Oka thing?
Orcas.
Oh, Orca. Oh, sorry. Yeah. I had friends who've done that in the past.
It's a beautiful place.
Oh, I've ridden my bike out there.
Oh, yeah. It's
Day.
great for bikes.
Yeah.
Fantastic access. And one thing we all kind of realized is, most runners at some point come from road running. Maybe there's some sort of a 5K or a 10K or something, and they'll eventually discover the trails. And one thing what we really noticed with trail running and what drew me specifically is that after a road race, people would ask me what my time was. It was always about self-comparison, right? Like, I want to know what your time was so I can compare myself to that. But with trail running, it was always, how was your time? Like, how did you enjoy it? And
no, like, did you throw up?
Right.
What did you eat? What do you drink? I mean, people say that, if you do like a 5K and you talk to the world record holder, can you have like what do you do? Right?
Right.
But if you do 100, even I don't care who you are, whatever, you have what if this, what do you do when your stomach turns? What do? You have to go to the bathroom? Or got this weird question today from Ultrarunning. It's like, well, what if you have diarrhea in your pants? I mean, like, really? The guy's like, I was like, and Carl Hoagland's like, I don't know if you want to do this. And I'm like, this is an Ask Ann. And the guy's going on and on and on in detail. It's like oversharing.
You're like,
But
we
it's
can
like,
stop this. Yeah.
yeah, it's called Yeah, I used to do Imodium. And I'm like laughing. I'm like, these things happen. You're out there that long, right?
Yeah.
That's what I think. Plus, you stub your toe, you switch your ankle, you do whatever. I don't know. It's just
There's so much shared experience.
there's a lot of shit,
Mhm.
there. And I think if you're running, I don't know, maybe you do when you run a hard 5K. I haven't done it in a long time. And I used to try, and when I was in high school, but I never really felt. And I ran against some really super fast people in high school, Jan Merrill, Mary Deck. I never thought I could go up to them. I just idolized them. I wouldn't. What was the conversation it's going to be? How does it feel to like run a 60-minute quarter in the end of your 10K? It's like, I couldn't relate.
Right.
But we can. I think we can relate. I mean, I've racked my brain over it. That's what I think. I don't know what you think, but that's what I think.
It is shared suffering, and I think in shared suffering, in
Or
shared
also-
suffering,
and
everyone gets to
also-
bond.
But it's not even just shared suffering; it's shared success.
Yes.
That
Yes.
finish line is friggin' amazing.
Yeah.
I'm not kidding, because I thought I did many years ago before I got my jackpot buckle. I'm very proud of it. Ian Torrance's Flagstaff, and I shouldn't have done it. I had luck on my life. And I'm in a Glad bag. My bottles are freezing, and I was second to last, 29, whatever. I thought I'd be last, and I thought I'd be embarrassed. I mean, I really did, because Ian, he's super famous, and I'm like, and Jamil was one of those. They had their girlfriends pacing me, and I lost my eyesight a little bit, and it just was like a very interesting experience.
What year was
and
this?
I'm like, I can't remember, a bunch of years. The last time before I got a buckle,
Got it.
whatever. Yeah. And I'm thinking I'll be embarrassed. Right? You've won Comrade, all this, blah, blah, blah. And I crossed that finish line, and I couldn't stop crying. I love that finish line. It's like I did it. And I coach people now, and the people that I'm most proud of are the people who do it, not the people who run fast. It's just the people who do it because they want to do it, and they didn't think they could do it. 29:45. You had Ken Michaels on here. Why do you think Ken and I bond? It's like crazy.
Yeah.
I mean, it's super cool. He has the enthusiasm. He gets it. I can communicate with him. It's really fun and inspiring, because you can use that in day-to-day life, I think.
I think our live viewers really appreciate that, Anne, because we have people that watch or listen to the show of all abilities, all shapes, all sizes, all experiences, and a majority of them are mid-packers, back of the packers, people who are experiencing these things for the first time. And to have someone like you on this show say something like that, I think is really important, because I don't think anyone that crosses a finish line, I think everyone that crosses the finish line celebrates the same way. It's a success, and
it's a success, and I
cool.
think that's what And most, I have a person I'm working with right now. It was a super good runner of the day, and he's like, "Why don't you have more elite people working?" I was like, "Who are elites?" And we've had a lot of conversations. He's now one of my, as a matter of fact, his kids are, I'm adopted grandparent. It's really cool. But he has kids in Poland. His parents are in Poland, and he was at a party, and my dog, like, anyway, it's like, I started talking, and another one of my dogs, not the snut, but it was like, and I have these, like, things for the kids to do, because, you invite a party with a bunch of kids and a bunch of parents, and all they talk about is running, and the kids get bored. And so, Hazel was not kind, and I started playing with them and spending a lot of time with them. And the next day, the guy's pretty intense. He sends me a text. He goes, "I know you might be a little young for this, but my kids want to adopt you as their grandparent." And they're 2 5-year-old twins. I am so excited about this.
Yeah.
I'm like sending them care package, and I'm showing my dad. I never could have kids, and now it's like, I'm a grandma.
You're a grandma.
So happy. I'm a grandma.
Cookies.
And
Send
cookies.
cookies.
Oh, cookies. Well, they Santa left. It was right after Christmas. He got confused. And Valentine's, but maybe cookies would be good. I could do cookies. I used to bake for fire trails. I know how to bake. That would be great. Thank you.
There we go.
I can
And
do that.
Trason cookies.
Brownies. People love my brownies.
I think we need to make that happen for this show. And Trason brownies would be amazing. And we're gonna wrap up the main show here. If you have a couple minutes, we'd love to keep you on the line. Do you have a couple minutes?
Let me check
your battery. But we'll wrap up the main show here, and if you are a Patreon supporter, join us for the post show. We'll have Ann maybe for a couple minutes. Ann, do you have the battery power?
27%. I'm rocking.
Wow.
Nice. That's actually better than I thought.
And you haven't even gotten that many questions. Why am I? Maybe because I got skunked. My brain's not working.
No, it's like in my mind, I just want to sit here and talk to you for all night. I just want to just.
No,
talk.
you really don't want to do that. I've done
I'm having a blast.
Three sunrises. No.
Let's do the 200-mile chat. So for 200 miles, we'll just talk. But with all first-time guests on the show, and we do a thing called the Quickie Question Quiz. It's a series of 8 hyper simple questions. You just have to answer with the first thing that comes to your mind. If you're willing to do it, I'll throw them at you. Okay, cool.
Okay.
What was your very first race?
Probably running up the street to have my grandmother's cookies.
Nice. Favorite place to run currently?
Well, if I could run, it would be Auburn.
Beautiful. Bucket list race or run or walk?
6 day across the years.
Guilty pleasure TV show?
I don't have a TV. Oh, I want to watch. I got a Topo GGO DVD and it ate it. I want to watch it. It ate it. They paid $25 for it.
Oh no!
It's bad.
What is your favorite pre-race meal?
Oh, I was very plain rice and potatoes.
Post-race indulgence?
Don't want to know. Probably, I like red wine.
That's totally legit. That is a...
Is it?
Oh, absolutely. And the final question, what are your current running shoes?
Hoka's.
Which one? Clifton's? Bondi's?
Oh, when you do what I'm doing, I just rotate them. I have like 5 different ones.
That's
whatever.
It.
Yeah, good. There
you
you
passed.
Go.
Congratulations.
Yay.
So that is it, everybody. Thank you so much for tuning into Ginger Runner Live tonight, episode number 200.
And I can't think of a better person to have on our 200
No way.
show. This is
The best.
one of my favorite shows so far.
Yeah, the format was a little different because
yeah.
I just wanted to talk with Ann, and Kim and I were talking a little bit before the show. We just wanted to talk with her. We didn't want to try to rip through as many questions as possible. So, Ann, we can't thank you enough for your time.
Well, if you're ever in Auburn, you can stay in my guest room. How's that?
You will have 2 guests.
Okay.
And we'll bring our polishing rags so we can polish off your cougars and do whatever needs to be done in there. We'll paint the walls. We'll paint the bridge. Let's paint. Oh,
no, you can't do that because the bridge is over a railroad track. So when I called Public Works, I told them that. And they're like, train wreck, liability. Yeah. Oh,
well,
yeah.
What if we didn't live in Auburn and we just, did it?
Oh, you don't want to do that. You don't want a train wreck.
Okay.
I'm working on it.
But I also saw that you're working on getting Green Gate to be painted green, which I love.
Well, that's a little bit going to be harsh.
Oh.
It's I called, and they it's a little sad, but I'm not gonna stop because
fight the fight.
I'm gonna, but nicely, right? Because the assistant said, the supervisor said the Green Gate can't be painted green.
Oh, there's probably some safety reason.
It's silver.
Right?
No. I took a picture. It's silver. They should
silver.
just send it to Nevada. Yeah, it's silver. And it's a safety reason because people still go straight because they don't, I mean, there's things that happen, bureaucratic stuff.
Sure.
I'm just going to go talk to them. And you know what's great? Bosses have bosses.
Exactly.
Yep.
Take it to whoever you need to take it to.
Yeah, I have to go to Jerry Brown. I will. Watch me.
And we'll be there in your corner, and you let us know.
Oh, I might need it because this is stupid. It's like
It needs to be green.
It needs to be green.
Yeah. Totally
It's a green great. Do you know how many times I've kissed up? I would touch it every time I get there. That bridge is magical.
Yeah.
Well, it's a different bridge now. That's part of the problem. They replaced it with the silver bridge, but yeah, believe me, that bridge is going to be green one way or the other.
Yeah, we'll make it happen.
Oh,
Green Gate.
yeah.
It's got to be green.
Green Gate. It's got to be green.
Uh,
Oh, you understand.
I do, because I've been there, and I've been there a couple of times in like the middle of the night, and you walk up to it, and it has green Christmas lights on it, which I do commend them for.
Do you know what? No, and then the state parks come and says they're defacing the Green Gate.
Are you
and
kidding
it's
me?
silver. No.
I didn't know that. Come
I was
on.
I was helping Julie put up stuff for her race for Way Too Cool. And she has these really cute signs that say like something like no parking, toad crossing.
Right.
And we're putting them on the no parking signs with the zip ties, right? And the state park people come up, and I have this kid. He's like 9 years old. He's a kid of one of the people I work with, and they made us take them all down because we were defacing state property, and because it was silly, maybe someone would park there. And Way Too Cool has thousands. Who would? So we just went with the cutter and cut them all down and put them somewhere else. And it's raining and it's miserable and we're cold and we're like, I just thought it was super cool. We got all these signs up and I'm like, okay, Nolan, we have to take these down. He's like, why? And I said, well, it's civil disobedience in the other way or something. It's just doesn't make sense, but we did. Yeah, so, it's bureaucrat, whatever, but I'm glad people are supporting my Green Gate because now I'm telling my friends that don't run and they're like, Ann, let it go. And I said, I can't. It's in my blood.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We'll fight the fight with you, Ann. We're with you.
There's also spray cans.
See, I didn't want to say it on air.
Well, I would never do spray cans. I'd
None
get
of
a
us
chip
would.
of green. No, but I would, what I would do? Not saying, but I would go and get a chip off of all the other Green Gates are in our neighborhood because there's a bunch of them. They name them. I would take a chip of it, go to Home Depot, and get it all,
Yes.
matched. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, and do you think they would notice? Probably, but not. What are they going to do? Paint this Green Gate silver?
Silver again? Yeah.
Yeah.
Not gonna happen.
Well, they could. As my friend said, they could just then take it to Nevada where it should be silver, right?
There you go. That's it. Well, we're with you, Ann. We're in your corner.
Well, good because that's what's important right now in my life.
No
I'm not
doubt.
kidding.
Yeah.
No doubt. It's like that's how much I love the course. It's like Cougar should be on Cougar Rock. Dusty should be Dusty.
Yep.
Which it is. And Green Gate should be green. And the white bridge should be sparkling.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I'm glad you guys all understand because I'm beginning to think. I'm not sure what I'm thinking about my brain right now. It's a little weird.
Well, these places are sacred for.
They're
many
landmarks. They're seriously for what we do. These are landmarks.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
I think so. But I'm a little.
We're both nodding. I know we can't see you, but we're both like, yes, we're nodding.
Really?
Heavy nodding.
I'm beginning to think I should see a shrink.
Nope.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Well, we'll wrap up the main show here with Ann.
Okay.
If Ann has a couple minutes, Ann, just stay on the line.
Okay.
We'll do a couple more questions with you in the post show, but we're gonna wrap up the main show here. Everyone who has been watching Ginger Runner Live tonight, thank you from the bottom of our hearts for 200 episodes of support, viewership, downloading the podcast, all that good stuff. It's been an incredible ride. 4+ years of doing this live show, plus 7 years of doing videos and films, and it's been an incredible journey. We've reached 100,000 subscribers last week, and so many milestones that we don't know how to thank you, and it's been an incredible journey, and I feel like we're just beginning because it's just been this incredible thing that we have no anticipate. We're not quitting anytime soon because it's just too much fun. So if you are a Patreon supporter, we'll see you guys in a couple seconds with a little bit more Ann Trason. If you are not a Patreon supporter, consider it. patreon.com/thegingerrunner. And for as little as $1, you get to join us for all the post shows, including tonight, right now, with Anne. And if you have not already, go to wheredreamsgotodie.com to download the latest feature film with Gary Robbins and his 2 attempts at the Barkley Marathons. We had a lot of people that were downloading it there during the show, and we'll watch it promptly after, which is pretty cool. So let us know if you guys are watching the movie. We'd love to hear the feedback. That's it for tonight's episode, guys. Get out there, train hard, race harder, and party the hardest. I think that's it. Am I forgetting anything?
I think that's it. We'll
think
see you
that's
guys
it.
in the post show.
We'll see you guys in the post show. And stick around. Don't go anywhere.
Okay.
Ann. Okay, cool. See you guys. Bye.
Bye.